Welcome, crypto fam, to the number one daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as we're currently correcting, as you can see. Also, Bitcoin's hash rate just hit yet another all-time high. And quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, Max and Stacy created more Bitcoin millionaires than Michael Saylor, particularly in 2013 when he publicly hated it. That's right. We have the receipts to show you that. We'll also be discussing Arthur Hayes explains why the Fed rate cuts aren't helping Bitcoin. The flow of money has gone from Treasury bills into the higher yielding reverse repos, according to the former BitMEX boss. We'll also be discussing Brazil Supreme Court upholds the judge's decision to suspend Elon Musk's X. That's right. All across Brazil right now, X is suspended. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin wallets holding over 100 Bitcoin hits a 17-month high, according to this data. That's right. While the small traders are panic selling amid the price weakness, Bitcoin whales are busy stacking them sats and loading up the BTC. We'll also be discussing investor Hugh Hendry sees reasonable odds of Bitcoin hitting a massive $200,000 price target. He says his cash is ready for the dips. And speaking of bullish price targets, we have another analyst who says Bitcoin's about to mimic the Japanese stock market incredible late 1980s rally. That's right, sending Bitcoin parabolic to 760,000 per coin. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. Welcome, fam. What's poppin'? What's good? Happy Tuesday. Shout out to the Oracle, everyone in the live chat. We're going to be streaming for the next couple of hours. Spread the word, let people know. 760,000 biddy, that's right, Knoxville. Shout out Dankness, good to see you, brother. Another epic show. You got this, boss. Thank you, homie. Shout out Data, shout out Juan. Overkill 007, let's get this show ripping. Damn straight. Long time no see, guys. Welcome back, Chris Minka. Where you been? And shout out to the Nippinator, always holding it down. Data says I saw some old episodes of The Flying Nun with Sally Fields last night. I was thinking about Puerto Rico and JV. It seems like a very pretty place to live. So is that movie shot in Puerto Rico? I'm not familiar with it. Shout out Ricky Norwood. Good evening, brother. Sliding back into a toxic work environment after a relaxing long weekend. F the fiat trap. Let's go, Bitcoin. Shout out Dirty. Ion Crypto, welcome. Wrench Whisperer, anyone just joining us, we're live right now on X, Rumble, and YouTube. If you guys can repost the stream on X, is greatly appreciated.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating. I waited all day, maybe I need a life, but Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
So I already pinned the stream at the top of the X profile. Shout out Crypto Surge, Ion Crypto, Bitcoin Not Crypto. Though you put JD, it's JV, just FYI, but it's all good in the hood. It's all about intent. He put JD is a great and honest man. Many of you will benefit from his content. Just reposted your brother. Shout out Silver Spike, just reposted ya. The one and only Oracle, JC Ice over on X, now over 1,300 followers. Make sure to follow her over on X as well. She's our moderator, one of many. And yeah, you guys, I greatly appreciate it. Shout out Catherine Weaver. Appreciate the reposts on the stream. And throughout the entire stream, I'll be checking and reposting everyone back. Let's get it. Yes, we're live, Robbie Kaiser. Welcome. I've been on vacation for the last few years. Except no income and I can't see. So not as fun. What do you mean you can't see? Are you blind, bro? But my eye apps are finally coming up this quarter. Appointments. Oh, you're being serious. Damn. Well, hopefully everything gets sorted out there. Bags are packed. Let's go. Welcome, Double B. I'm new to the bio coin, but I invested in Marathon long term, referring to Marathon Digital Bitcoin miner family. Right on. Welcome, everyone just joining us. We're streaming, obviously, early today, 12 p.m. Tomorrow will be 12 p.m. and Thursday, 12 p.m. Then Friday and over the weekend, we'll flip back to the normal 4 p.m. schedule. Just FYI, hence the importance. Make sure you got notifications turned on. Make sure you're subscribed on the channel For YouTube, direct link, cryptonewsalerts.net. That's where the commenting live feed is coming from. Also, make sure to subscribe to the Rumble for the uncensored version of the pod at rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. And make sure you're following me on X. Greatly appreciated, yo. Shout out Wealth Ranger. Bitcoin getting weaker every day. It's crazy because we were just 59.5 this morning. I took a nap. I wake up. We're 57.6. But now JV is live. Watch us pump back to 60. It's crazy, but expect more extreme volatility. I've been calling it always around times of the halving. The markets are extremely volatile, and we just had a halving back in on April 19th, and things are about to get parabolic, I think, especially entering the fourth quarter. I think it's like September can go either way. It could be another bear month. It could be a prophecy of September. Historically, I think we have negative 4% months in September, or we may do the unexpected and hit straight up with a September bull. There's no telling. But I think in the fourth quarter is when things get really bullish. So we have another month yet until October. But let me know your thoughts. That's right. It's the early bird special, broski. Yeah, serious. Good news is that my vision will be restored. I feel very fortunate, and I won't take vision for granted again. Well, respect, family. Keep us posted with your journey there. Thank you, Bitcoin Not Crypto. He reposted. JV is a great and honest man. Appreciate it, bro. But yeah, exactly. I think we go up this month. But honestly, all signs point to the last quarter. CNA live stream times are more volatile than the biddy. Well, there's always two time frames we're at. It's usually 4 or 12. I'm a parent, so I take my daughter to school. And so on those weeks, obviously, I can't do the 4 o'clock because I'm in traffic. So we do it earlier. I'm old enough to remember when 58,000 was extreme greed only 3 years ago. Again, February of 2024. That's right. Bitcoin is a grower, not a shower. Right on. Anyone, I'm here to support JV. Well, thank you, Wrench Whisperer. Appreciate it, yo. Welcome, everyone just joining the stream. I'm going to sip some water, and we're going to get right into it. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes. Go ahead and subscribe. It's free to do so. And it's greatly appreciated. Hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications. That way you get notified each and every day when I go live. Today is pod 1749. I'm your host, JV, at September 3rd, 2024. Lots to cover. Market currently correcting. I mean, I woke up, we were 59.5. We just started dumping. We're currently at 57.7. Let's see how low the price action shall go. Let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. You can see Bitcoin down 1.5%, trading at 57,800 on Coin360. We have Ether down 3%, trading back under 2,500. XRP, one of the only top cryptos actually in the green today, but barely. We also have Solana, Tron, Cardano, AVAX all correcting and in the red. Checking out coinmarketcap.com. We currently have a market cap barely above 2 trillion. It's 2.02 trillion as we're steadily declining. The Bitcoin market cap all the way down to 1.14 trillion, 55 billion worth of volume past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance 56.4%. Ether dominance back on the decline at 14.5. Yesterday was 14.6. Checking out top 100. Crypto gainers past 24 hours. Up 3%, Monero up 3%, and BSV up 2%. Let me know which alts, if any, you are bullish on for the bull. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective on the day. I swear, about an hour or two ago, everything was in the green. Now virtually everything is flipped back in the red. Welcome to cryptocurrency, where the volatility equals life force. And zooming out on the monthly, don't look really much better. I'd say 80-20 blood wreck city in the red. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index, I was really hoping we'd hit a bottom in extreme fear of below 25, but for some reason we're like holding on to this 26 fear, one number above the extreme fear. So already, can we just get the extreme fear and bounce back to 60? But anyways, last week was a 48 and last month a 34 in fear. And checking out the time chain calendar, the current block we're currently at for the Bitcoin network is 859,714. We have 190,286 blocks yet to go until the next halving, which is scheduled to take place in April of 2028. And you can currently receive 1,731 Satoshis per dollar. Not too shabby. Probably only cost you roughly $500 to be a Satoshi millionaire right now. So take advantage of the dip, and welcome everyone just joining the stream. CS, that hat is fresh. So fresh and so clean. If you like a hat like this, it's Adidas, by the way. You can cop one from bitcoincaps.net. My boy Sergio hooks it up. He actually creates these hats for Max Kaiser, Nayib Bukele, and all the OGs. So now you know. Thank you for the feedback. What up, Dankness? I got the motor home and been traveling since June, says Chris. Genuine question. Do you think NFTs will make a comeback? Honestly, I don't think they're going anywhere, but considering bald-headed Gary Gensler. I don't know why I thought of the word fat, but bald-headed Gary Gensler and the SEC is targeting NFTs right now. They're going after the largest NFT marketplace, which is OpenSea, deeming they're selling unregistered securities. So right now, they're the ones being targeted. So short term, NFTs are screwed. And you already know the majority of them lost 90 to 98% of their value. I'm speculating since the high when everyone was flexing with their Bored Ape Yacht Club, like, oh my God, I just paid $4 billion for this monkey. So I'm not so optimistic about it, but I don't think they're going anywhere. Shout out Crypto Surge. This bounce will green today, probably this morning. It is just some FUD after a 3-day weekend. Lettuce hands selling. Diamond hands are buying. Will be 1,000 higher by the evening. Send it, data. Thank you for reiterating the rules. That sounds epic. All the things you see must be much. Yeah. So the rules are simple. Number 1, don't dox anyone in the chat. Shout out to the Oracle. Number 2, don't disrespect anyone, the chat or the mods or JV, and don't spam the chat. Any of these will get you removed. Well, you heard it first and foremost from the Oracle. And also, disclaimer, this is not financial advice. All the information provided is from recent news articles for entertainment and discussion only. Always do your own research before investing in cryptocurrency. Well said. OpenSea equals the low-hanging fruit. Of course, screenshot, hold the same value and survive the same purpose as the NFT. There you go. Shout out El Chorizo, Mexica, Hodl, what's poppin', brother? Welcome to the stream. Welcome everyone just joining us. I'm checking the X feed right now. You're going to notice the stream pinned at the very top of the profile, so it's easy to find. We already have more than 100% like to share ratio, so you guys are the bomb diggity. Greatly appreciate y'all. Crypto News Alerts is live. Thank you, Boss33. Just reposted you. Shout out Glenn Cooper. Just reposted you, broski. Let's go. Who is that guy in your stream with the doggy picture? I don't even know what you're talking about there for. The doggy picture. But nonetheless, welcome everyone just joining us. And let's continue. Let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis. We'll check out some of the live charts as well. So here we go. This headline reads, Bitcoin price nearly hit 60,000, but traders still see a bearish September. So will it be a September or a September? Let me know. Here you're looking at a one-day chart, and Bitcoin traded near 59,000. In fact, we were like 59.5 when I woke up. So, but we started correcting right before the stream went live, and now we're down 3% on the day. Trading views showed promising Bitcoin price action before the week's first U.S. trading session. Weakness around the monthly and weekly close did not last long, as despite a U.S. market holiday, Bitcoin spiked to highs of 59.8 overnight. Constructive closes and confirmations are looking pretty good now, according to Scoo. He also noted that the price needed to complete various prerequisites to confirm upwards continuation. Amongst them, a reading above a 50 on the 4-hour RSI. And at this time, the RSI is at 48.9. Quoting him here, going forward, would want to see the monthly open bought by passive buyers on the pullbacks. And here you're looking at the 4-hour chart. And having started off in a classic style, traditionally red September, now began to look more interesting to market participants. Dan Crypto Trade shared, so consensus is September bad, Q4 good. What if September insanely good, Q4 more chop and bleed? Now that would be pretty typical for this cycle. And in further analysis, he acknowledged that even in the bad months, the first week was green more often than not. So historically, the first week of September is bullish. Will we continue? Will history rhyme? You got to tell me in the comments, fam. Others saw standard behavioral patterns, albeit with a bullish outcome waiting in the wings. Quoting trading firm MN Trading. Dull market, which is usually the end of the stage before the party begins. And Mikhail Van de Poppe shared regarding the price action on Bitcoin, you'd really need to get a breakout above 61,000 to get that momentum back in the markets. Otherwise, we continue to have this downward trend for a while. Now, meanwhile, Bitcoin and gold face a familiar challenge. In the latest market bulletin from QCP Capital, they warned that gold, which set a new all-time high in August, may join crypto heading downward. This status quo could remain in place until October, till the fourth quarter, which has historically been much more bullish. Quoting them here, September is typically a bearish month, not just for crypto, but across all asset classes. October, however, has the strongest bullish seasonality, with Bitcoin showing positive returns and an average gain of 22.9% in 8 out of the last 9 Octobers. They concluded that if this pattern plays out again this year, it would be strategic to accumulate during the September dip and take profits in October or towards the end of the year. Now, in other news, Bitcoin just hits yet another all-time high, which is a metric we like to, commonly follow here on the stream. I mean, the numbers don't lie. As long as Bitcoin continues breaking out, reaching new all-time highs, the price tends to follow. It's a lagging indicator. And quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, Max and Stacy created more Bitcoin millionaires than Mikey Saylor, particularly in 2013 when he publicly hated it. That's right. Michael Saylor made a tweet back in 2013 in December. It's still up on his X account, formerly known as Twitter. And he says, Bitcoin is going to suffer the same fate as online gambling, and hence why it took him 7 more years to come around and finally buy some Bitcoin. Check this out. Throwback. Who do you think is the most important representative of Bitcoin, Mikey Saylor or Max Keiser? I am hands down selecting Max because, again, the Keiser report put Bitcoin on the map. First one to share international TV coverage Bitcoin. And back in 2011, Bitcoin was like $1. And that's how long Max and Stacy have been telling you about Bitcoin. Again, Michael Saylor came late to the party. He was even fudding it back in 2013. He thought it would suffer the same the same fate as online gambling. And clearly the Giga Chad was wrong. And clearly everyone pays for the biddy at the price they deserve. Which is another infamous quote. So yeah, let's check out the charts right here. This is live chart action Jackson, brought to you by TradingView via Coinbase. You can see Bitcoin hovering above 57,800. You can see we do have a target on the 1-hour chart sitting just above $60,400. Let's zoom it out. We'll check out the 4-hour, work our way back. Here on the 4-hour chart, you see we had that big red candle, which took us right back to the territory we're currently in. You know what I mean? And zooming out a little more, we'll check out the daily. Here's the daily chart. Again, live and in the flesh right now. Look at that sideways action. We had a big red, big green, big red over the past 3 days. And then, of course, about a week ago, we had the big 2 red candles taking us all the way back down to this territory. We're not out of the clear yet, bro. I think we do need to get above 61,000 as well so we can be back on bullish momentum. And checking out the 1 week, we still have the infamous cup and handle target sitting all the way at roughly $125,000. I personally think we can clear that target most likely in Q4 of this year. But let me know your thoughts, and we'll zoom out and check out the monthly real quick. Here's the monthly chart. And again, it's just been trading sideways for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Pretty insane. But prior to that, we had 7 green monthly closes. You can see the staircase pattern, but then we've been trading sideways since. But there you have it, yo. Let me know your thoughts and where do you feel the Bitcoin price action will likely take us next. Do you think the bottom is in when we tap 49 more recently, or do you think we'll correct potentially lower? Let me know either way. The FTX repayments will absolutely blow up the Bitcoin price. Up is coming, way, way up. That's right. They're not paying people back with crypto. They're paying them back with the US dollar equivalent. So I don't think it's going to have a negative impact at all. The repayment, which will begin in the fourth quarter for the FTX creditors. Bitcoin ain't nothing to F with. Wu-Tang and Bitcoin, one and the same. That's right. The moon and the Mars are to close into, in my opinion, heading into the Kuiper belt just past Pluto. Last October, Bitcoin price was below 25 G's. Who was stacking back then? As Raoul Pal says, don't F this up. Especially if they pay in the stable coins and not in the Bitcoin. Correct, they're not paying in Bitcoin. They clarified that. I covered that story yesterday. People will buy in again at the moon. Well, yeah, exactly. People got to buy back. So people are ultimately getting screwed. They're not getting their crypto back. They're getting fiat and they're getting it at the time when it was like at a low, which is sad. They should get the Bitcoin at today's value if they had Bitcoin in. So for example, if you had one Bitcoin in FTX, they stole your Bitcoin, and then today Bitcoin's hypothetically worth 58,000, you should receive the 58,000 worth of Bitcoin. But not only are they not giving you the Bitcoin, I don't even think they're going to give you the 58,000 equivalent. You're going to get Bitcoin back when it was at a bottom because these mofos are corrupt. At least that's my understanding of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. It'll just be nice to see a steady climb into the Bitcoin every day. It seems to fall slightly. Had to quick DXY pop under the 101, now back above and looking bullish Bitcoin downturn. Max Kaiser helped me the most for Bitcoin millionaires. Amen. Second was Cliff High. I also got to throw out OG, what's his name? Andreas Antonopoulos. He's created a lot of Bitcoin millionaires as well. He actually orange pilled JV, your boy. They got SBF, huge liquidity. They tried to get CZ again, huge liquidity. And the dips are for the big players to buy in. Hold your bags, hide your kids, hide your wives. 60 G's, baby.
Bitcoin, 60 G's, 60 G's.
Buying opportunity for fifth level sexy G's. What do you think, JV?
Who cares about that roaring kitty? Shout out Mexica Huddle. I just reposted your brother. He put, let's get it. Bitcoin, best Bitcoin channel. Appreciate it, yo. And like I said, anyone who reposts with a quote or a repost with a quote, whether it's a comment or a quote, you're going to get reposted, shouted out, and also follow you guys back. Greatly appreciate it. It does help out, bring more eyeballs to the stream, of course. We're streaming right now on X, Rumble, and YouTube.
Who cares about a roaring kitty? A boring kitty, not me. I'm for the big T. I'm for the Nippinator. I'm for Nipsey, not for the weirdo Kit Kat kitty cat. A kitty cat. I'm for stacking the sats. Stack the sats. Ain't no thing, baby. It's a chance to stack those sats.
A chance to stack those BitTs. That's right. What do we call those who ultimately, what's the term? Treat fiat as a store of value. Hoard. I was looking for the word hoard. Those who hoard fiat. What do we call them, folks?
But like most of the people who are buying assets,
We call them poor. I can't wait. It takes a while to get into the actual Michael Saylor quote. It's like 20 seconds into that clip, so I can't. No patience for me today. Nipsey the Dragon Dog, a Nippinator. What is Satoshi saying today? I know. I want to know when the bottom is in. I think he'll give us a signal. We can't rush it, though. We got to keep it natural. When it happens, it happens. But anyways, let's continue with the news. Welcome everyone joining the stream. We appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to be streaming at least for the next 90 minutes. So if you guys can repost this, spread the word. It's greatly appreciated. Yeah, so our next story, we just broke down our live TA. Let's discuss the Fed rate cuts as per BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes. He explains why the Fed rate cuts aren't helping Bitcoin. Arthur Hayes, co-founder of BitMEX, shared his theory of why the interest rate cuts by the U.S. Fed may not do much for the Bitcoin prices. In a post September 2nd, the Maelstrom chief investment officer said despite Federal Reserve Chairman Jay Powell all but confirming a rate cut in September at his Jackson Hole speech on August 23rd, the Bitcoin price has struggled and declined since. Since the speech, the Bitcoin price briefly spiked to 64 before falling 10% to 57.4 September 2nd. It recovered slightly and now it's back down. It's kind of crazy. And given his take on why, Hayes pointed to reverse repurchase agreements, the sale of securities with the agreement to repurchase them at a higher price at a specific further date, noting they are paying 5.3% interest. This is higher than the Treasury bills, short-term government debt obligations, which pay the lower yields of 4.3%. And as a result, large money market funds are taking their cash out of the Treasury bills and putting it into those RRPs instead, resulting in less money floating around the market for risk assets such as crypto, explained Hayes. X-account LE5 of TLDR explained that the RRP program can act like overnight parking for the big banks and money managers to park their cash. They explain that this is also paying more than other safe investments, so capital stays in the parking lot instead of flowing through the economy. And since the Fed announced the probable September rate cut, an additional $120 billion went into reverse repurchase agreements. And Hayes highlighted that the development goes against the assumption of the lower interest rates, which are good for the high-risk assets, such as the Bitcoin. Many believe that the low interest rates encourage borrowing and spending, which leads to more liquidity in markets as safer interest-bearing accounts are no longer as attractive, while a weaker dollar can make Bitcoin appear stronger. And according to the CME FedWatch tool, there's a 69% chance of a 25 basis point cut and a 31% chance of a 50 basis point cut at the Fed's September 18th meeting. A larger rate cut would signal a more aggressive stance by the Fed, potentially leading to a more dramatic market response and a bigger boost to economic activity. So there you go. Do you agree or disagree with Just Hayes, Arthur Blaze? Let me know in the comments, and I'll read your comments out loud before we dive into the latest with what's going on between Brazil and X with the whole entire ban across the country. Stack sats is the only news I need. Well, there you go. Stack those sats. The show is over. Just stack the sats. Nippinator, what is Satoshi saying? I know. We call them zombie apocalypse when they run at your stocked shelter with the pitchforks. They may not do much that day. There always seems to be a FUD dip, but of course they will help the liquidity over time, especially as we get more cuts. When the FTX candle, volatility is the heartbeat of the market. That's right. Volatility equals life force. I've heard Michael Saylor talk about this before. I agree 100%. Just remember that the fourth of the major banks, four, are teetering on the edge of insolvency. That will send Bitcoin to the moon. That is so true. So four major banks, and I think it's 91 banks collectively, because we covered that story maybe a week ago or two on the pod. So there's literally 90 plus banks on the brink of insolvency. And as the Oracle said, four of them are the major banks. And if that is to happen, game on. Bitcoin to the moon, baby. Peekaboo. Are we playing peekaboo right now? Is that what we're doing? Happy 420. I see we got over 420 people on the stream. Again, we're on X, we're on Rumble, we're on YouTube. We're streaming all over right now. If you guys can share, spread the word, it's greatly appreciated. Last time the banks were in jeopardy, we had the first part of the... Oh, yeah, that was, I think, not this year. That was the beginning of last year. And Bitcoin was like 18,000 at the low, and we had the regional banking crisis. Correct me if I'm wrong, this is my memory. Regional banking crisis sent Bitcoin, I don't know, maybe to the 40,000 range. Then with the Bitcoin ETFs, this year, it took us to new heights, obviously. Now $20 billion worth of volume just from BlackRock. But the Bitcoin ETFs took things to the next level for this year. But last year, Bitcoin did rise due to the regional banking crisis. That's what I remember, at least. Wells Fargo wants to purchase the Biddy. Let them purchase the Biddy. I started this channel many months ago. You guys are awesome. Well, we're glad to have you here, a part of the stream, Wrench Whisperer. Glad you're here still. Last year. Early this year. Last year. Right on, Data. Right on.
Just a stack of big T's. Baby, you never heard about me with another coin. Bitcoin. I got my mind on my Bitcoin, and my Bitcoin on my mind. 60 G's, 60 G's.
Chicago gangs are uniting to take back their territory from the Venezuelan gangs. When we are rooting for our gangs to take out their gangs, the administration has failed. Well said. Oracle, well said. Oh, and by the way, I'm a whole coiner now. Congratulations, Wrench Whisperer. Give it up. We got another whole coiner, a part of the fam. That's what's up. There's only so many whole coiners. I don't have the data in front of me, but I think there's less than 100,000 whole coiners in the world. Ballpark. Just need to get September out of the way and see the fourth quarter. Right on, Ricky. And yeah, way to go, Wrench. That's massive. Let's continue, and let's create some more whole coiners, shall we? Next story, let's discuss the saga between Brazil and X going on right now. Brazil Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the land, upholds the judge's BS decision to suspend X Can't make this ish up. A Brazilian Supreme Court panel upheld a decision from one of its justices to suspend operations on X in their country. In a unanimous decision, September 2nd, a panel of 5 Supreme Court justices held Justice Alexandra de Moraes. Again, I'm probably butchering his name, so bear with me. August 30th, ruling suspending X in Brazil. Moraes' decision followed ex-owner Elon's refusal to name a legal representative for the firm's operations in Brazil. Now, I'm going to assume he didn't want to name a representative because they were going to fricking go after them, more than likely. In the months before Moraes' decision, Musk heavily criticized the Supreme Court judge on X, claiming he was evil and a dictator for his alleged illegal political censorship of the social media platform. It is unclear how the ex-owner may respond to the court ruling now that 4 other justices agreed with Moraes' ruling. Now, Moraes had been investigating X for allegedly allowing and promoting misinformation related to the former Brazilian president, Jair Bolsonaro. Since Musk's takeover of the company, then Twitter, October 2022, many companies have pulled advertising after reports of pro-Nazi content appearing alongside their ads. Again, you can't make this ish up. According to the Moraes decision, X will remain suspended in Brazil until the company pays outstanding fine. Well, I guess that's what it's all about. Totaling more than $3 million as of August 30th. Brazilian residents and companies using VPNs to access the site could also face fines of up to 50,000 reals, which is roughly 8,900 US dollars. Now, I've been following some of the saga, on Elon's account as well. Elon's keeps saying this guy is going to go to, he belongs in prison. In fact, they just confiscated one of the airplanes from the Brazilian alleged dictator. I think yesterday or the day before, it was in my feed. One of their airplanes was in our airspace, and they took it down and they basically seized it. And they said it belonged to that Brazilian president. So Musk doesn't need Brazil, says Data. I believe that is when Bitcoin will decouple from the other markets, when the dollar fails, because the run to the safe haven assets, gold, silver, and now the Bitcoin is where they run. How many people own one full Bitcoin according to the blockchain analysis platform BitInfo charts? Oh, is it more than 1 million addresses? Well, I'm going to stick with 100,000 people because I believe many whole coiners have multiple addresses. I think it's just common sense. But good data. Over 1 million addresses are whole coiners. Lambo Moon coming soon. Airplane was, thank you for the correction. I thought it was from Brazil, Venezuela. The airplane that they took was not from the Brazil airspace then. I guess it was from Venezuela. My apologies. Maduro. Yeah, he's going hard to Maduro. I don't know. I don't know all these guys. I just see there's a clear beef between Maduro, Elon. Elon likes beefing. But Elon's standing behind the United States, of course. Elon's not a tough guy. So whatever his masters tell him, I think he says, yeah, we'll do that. Yes, they do, JV. Right on. Exactly. So we got clarification. A lot of, for example, Satoshi, from my understanding, the block reward in the beginning was 50 Bitcoin. Every time he received a 50 Bitcoin block reward, it went into a new wallet. Every time. So Satoshi himself has thousands of wallets. Hypothetically. Allegedly. Nobody really knows if Satoshi even exists. For all we know, Satoshi might be Nipsey. Dun, dun, dun. But then again, Nipsey wasn't born until 5 years ago. But they don't need to know that. Maybe Satoshi was once in a different realm, came in the form of a dog, and then, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Please read my comment on the decoupling of Bitcoin. You got it. Okay, so I believe that it is when Bitcoin will decouple from the other markets. When the dollar fails, people run to the safe havens, 100%. Gold, silver, now Bitcoin will be where they run. I agree with you on that. Just need to get September out of the way. Right on. Well, the plane was bought in violation of an embargo, my understanding, so it is being repossessed. It was confiscated in the Dominican Republic, Crypto Surge said. If I was collecting Bitcoin, my goal would be 2 Bitcoin or almost there. Well, congratulations, bro. And then once you hit 2, your goal never ends. It's a lifelong journey. You just continue to stack the sats. Just note, the earlier on you stack, the more likely you're going to have a higher amount. it's going to get more and more difficult with time and as the price continues to go up to stack the biddies. So common sense, right? I sink boats, plural, says Facts. Any smart hole coiners like us have them in several wallets. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah. Is it official? Harris to tax unrealized gains? She's calling for it. I think it'll be official if she's elected president. So make sure she don't get elected, Rudy. But yeah, that's what she's shooting for. Literally, they want to tax unrealized gains. Not only that, but they're going to double capital gains taxes from 20%, more than double, from 20% to 45%. So taxes across the board are going up with Harris as president, guaranteed. I think Hal Finney was actually Satoshi, and now he is dead. That explains why those Bitcoin have not moved. He is cryonically preserved. So once medical science finds a cure for ALS, wait, does that mean he's frozen? I'm not too familiar with that terminology, but let me know. I didn't know that, Glencoe. That's freaking crazy. They bring back Satoshi. Oh my God. Bitcoin hits $1 million. We bring back Satoshi. Stay away from the cum rockets, Oracle. No cummies. Yeah, be very careful with the alts, especially the cum rockets. Congress would never agree to that. Unrealized gains tax is unconstitutional. Well, there's a lot of things that are unconstitutional that they do. Wasn't forcing us to wear masks during Novid unconstitutional? Didn't we have some sort of freedom to not have to put something blocking our breathing that'll more likely make us sick? Wasn't them forcing and coercing you to get the poison jab unconstitutional? Isn't everything the U.S. government does unconstitutional to an extent? You know what I mean? So don't think they can't do it. They can do it what they want to do, especially if you elect them into power. They have every right to do it. My understanding. 70-80% taxes, good Lord. She wants at least double capital gains, income, and other taxes. They want new tax on, thank you. Yes, so they want the new unrealized gains tax, plus they're going to more than double capital gains tax, plus they're going to double your other income tax. Everything is going up. They might even introduce a breathing tax for carbon and say, hey, you want to breathe air? Pay the tax. I will move, not just talking trash like libs. I actually have the funds. Why can't anyone see she could do all the things she's claiming she would do when elected right now, but she's not? So to vote for her is to endorse a crazy lying government. 100%. Bitcoin! In my Frankie McDonald voice. Shout out Frankie McDonald and gratefulness. Yeah. What do you think of ORC? I don't even know what ORC is. We are already at over 80% tax on every dollar right now. It's a damn shame. So we need to pop some champagne, bring the taxes back down. Yeah, I don't like the fart tax either. I don't like the fart taxes. I say we should be able to fart without the tax. But next story, let's discuss these Bitcoin whales, eh? Shout out to all my Bitcoin, diamond hands, laser eyes. Headline reads, Bitcoin wallets holding over 100 biddies hits a 17-month high. Shout out to all the whales out there, yo. The number of the Bitcoin wallets holding 100 biddies or more has hit a remarkable 17-month high, according to blockchain analytics platform Santiment. This surge, and I ain't talking about the crypto surge, was propelled by a notable increase in whale holdings over the past month. In a post on the 31st, Santiment shared that over 283 wallets holding at least 100 Bitcoin emerged within the past month alone. So congratulations, all the new whales. With this addition, 16,120 such wallets on the network has broken a 17-month high. Now, Santiment attributed the increase in whale holdings to small traders impatiently dumping their holdings to the bigger players amid the recent price dips. Quoting them here, as crypto prices had let retail traders down, Bitcoin whales are growing in number. And in a separate post, crypto analyst Axel Adler noted that the traders might be offloading due to the pressure of not risking selling below their entry point. Quoting him here, for exactly 1 month, short-term hodlers, who are those who hold for 1 to 3 months, have been trading at a loss. In the current bull market, this metric has not fallen below 17%. The current figure is negative 8%. If this continues to decline, the number of people willing to sell coins at a loss could double. Now, clearly, those selling at a time like this are the dumpskis, quoting Donnie Brasco. Don't be a dumpski. You know what I mean? Smart money is hodling. Now, Santiment also revealed that the wallets with at least 10 Bitcoin, known as the sharks, how many sharks we got here in the chat? Let me know if you're a shark, are also stacking up more of the asset. According to the analytics platform, whales and sharks have collectively scooped up 133,000 biddies, worth $7.6 billion. And speaking of Scoop, rest in peace, Fat Man Scoop, who recently died suddenly at a concert. That's a topic for another conversation. Over the last 30 days, in contrast, the analysts added, the smaller traders are dumping their holdings amid the short-term price weakness. Meanwhile, Vivek Sen, founder of Big Row Lab, pointed to a historical pattern between increased whale activity and the price of the biddy. He noted that the Bitcoin hit a new peak the last time the whales accumulated much of the digital asset. However, the increase in whale activity has yet to impact the price of the biddy. At this time, as you know, Bitcoin is down, obviously, for the month. Hasn't been doing so well for the past 3 months. However, September could be a September bull. We don't know. And I think fourth quarter, I'll reiterate, I'm very bullish for Q4 because historically, that's when Bitcoin rips. So let's go. Short-term hodler is not 1 to 3 months. It's up to 5 months. Is that correct there, Chris? For the metric? A Cancer. So a crab naturally. Are you referring to your astrological signs here? JV is Aquarius. And my Chinese astrology is boar. So I'm a pig. Ironic enough, I don't eat pig. I don't eat meat. Maybe that's why I'm a pig. I don't know. But 1983, representing the same year as Return of the Jedi. Is that a coincidence? I think not. Taxes are only legally allowed to be collected in times of war. Well, hence why we're always in war. Got to keep it legal. I will be a shark next June. Watch me. I believe you, Wrench Whisperer. Congratulations, broski. Let's make it happen. Most of my sats have dipped below the entry price, one point or another. Why would you sell at a loss? It makes no sense. That's right. You only lose what you sell. So if you sell when it's at an unrealized loss, it becomes a realized loss. And then you really become a loser. Or if Harris wins and she creates unrealized taxes on your crypto, you become a loser all the time, even when you hodl. That's how it would work. If you have equity in your house and they're going to force you to pay an unrealized tax every year, you're going to have to get a loan just to pay your taxes. Now, what happens when the real estate market crashes or Bitcoin crashes and you go upside down? Then what? And you already paid taxes on your unrealized losses. Crazy. Or in this case, gains. My apologies. I meant to say getting taxed on unrealized gains. JV, you're the only shark here. I like to believe I'm a dolphin, but I don't know what that means. But I like dolphins. I don't like sharks. Never been a fan of the shark. Let's not be fooled. This crypto bull cycle is over. Serious? I think you're trying to fool everyone else, because anyone who has been in crypto for more than one cycle knows the bull run hasn't even began. However, not investment advice. Everything you hear during this stream is for entertainment purposes only. If Comey is right and there is no more crypto bull and everything goes to zero, I'm not to be held liable. Just FYI. JV, you're the only shark. I definitely identify as a person who has paid enough taxes. Yeah, I pay too much taxes. That's why I live in Puerto Rico now. I've overpaid my share of taxes in my life as a successful entrepreneur. When you start paying six figures in taxes to the government every year, you're like, damn, this is a lot of money. This ish adds up. Anyways, Harris can try to find my Bitcoin I lost in a rocket accident. I may or may not be a shark, whale, or a dolphin. No one will know but me. In fact, I'm going to assume the Oracle's a no-coiner. Same as me, because we lost all of our Bitcoin. So it sucks to be a no-coiner, especially when you have your own podcast based on Bitcoin, for Christ's sake. But what are you going to do? Accidents happen all the time. You can be taxed on losses if they enact the pre-realized gains tax. Exactly. Good point. Dolphin equals 50 Bitcoin. That all? Is that all? Dolphins are smart. One of my favorite animals. Yes, I spent some time with some dolphins as well. They're extremely intelligent. Very clever. But anyways, let's continue. Still got a lot more to share. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. Let's discuss this $200,000 target, and then we'll discuss a massive $760,000 target. Then we'll dive into our live Q&A. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. Appreciate you guys here. Investor Hugh Hendry sees reasonable odds of Bitcoin hitting a massive price target. Says his cash is ready for the dips, and he's ultimately projecting $200,000 for the King Crypto. Macro guru Hugh Hendry believes there's a solid chance that the Biddy will ignite a nearly 240% surge, but notes that he is also prepared in case the King Crypto corrects. In a new interview with independent journalist David Lin, Hendry says that while he is not an expert in the intricacies of the Biddy and crypto, he can still see his capital invested in Bitcoin easily appreciating by a 3x. Yeah, easy peasy. So at 60, 120, 180, easy peasy. Just saying. According to the macro guru, his rosy outlook on Bitcoin is based on the Bitcoin bull market structure, the size of the market cap, as well as the potential buyers for the King Crypto. However, he highlights that it is also within the realm of possibility for Bitcoin to crash to levels last seen in October 2023. Sober October, eh? Quoting him here. When I look at the Biddy, that's 1 trillion market cap, could easily be 3 trillion. Easy. So I think Bitcoin could half or triple, quadruple. It could trade at least at 200,000. And that's right. A quadruple is 60, 120, 180, 240. Ballpark. 240 G's, baby. Hendry says that if Bitcoin witnesses a market meltdown, he is ready to scoop up heavily the discounted coins, believing it'll eventually hit his massive price target. Quoting the analyst again, if Bitcoin were to half, I would buy. So if he's saying if it went to 30,000, he'd buy. Wishful thinking. I'd actually bring my cash reserves and I would buy Bitcoin at 30,000. And like I say, I think there is reasonable odds that you can see it trading at 200,000, especially with that risk to reward ratio. If you're a firm believer Bitcoin's going to quadruple to 200,000 plus, why wouldn't you just buy the Bitcoin at the 58,000 at today's price instead of hopeful thinking or wishful thinking, as I refer to it as, praying to the Bitcoin gods that you get it at 30,000 may likely never happen. In fact, the bottom may already be in at 49. There's no guarantee. So stupid. Just buy the Bitcoin now, dollar cost average, and count your blessings knowing we're going to soar above 200,000. Anyways, that's my 2 Satoshis, family. Let me know your thoughts. A dolphin is the fitty bitty. A fitty bitty, 500 bitty. Sounds more sexy to me right there. So a dolphin is 500 Bitcoin. Nice. Our perception of reality is a shadow of our own reality. Quoting Plato. And I ain't talking about the stuff you mush around in your hands and make objects out of. I'm talking about different Plato. The philosopher. That's right. And I ain't talking about the philosopher king. That's Bukele. El Salvador's very own. I would take my entire paycheck and buy all the Bitcoin if it drops to 30,000 or less. That's right. You can't win if you aren't in the game. Amen. Get in the game. Get in the game. Like EA Sports. Anytime I used to turn on John Madden football, EA Games. What is he? Get in the game. Whatever they used to say all the time. It's always a perfect time to buy the Bitcoin. Exactly. Exactly. Because you're buying it to hold on to it for the future. You're not buying it for a quick trade tomorrow into an altcoin, right? So if you're holding for at least 2 cycles, which is my recommendation, not investment advice, but I have noticed everyone who hodls for at least 4 years, which is 1 cycle, is in the black, meaning you're in the green. You got gains, unrealized, hopefully, because you're hodling. Hodl for 2 cycles, life-changing. So if you want life-changing results, you hodl for at least 2 cycles. You know what I mean? So for example, I got started 2017, so we had a cycle of the halving of 2016, parabolic run up 2017. We tapped 20 G's on the brink, on the cusp. And then following cycle, we hit 69. Now this is the next cycle, right? Hodl another 4 years, it's life-changing. I'm telling you straight up, it's life-changing. And if you hodl for 3 or 4 cycles, it may be generational wealth life-changing. You know what I mean? DC every week, been doing it since 2015. That's what's up. We are still at discount Bitcoin territory. Why not buy? Exactly. We're lower than the previous cycle high. Look at it that way. If 3x, I'm Audi, meaning you're copping an Audi. I bought some Bitcoin today for the kids, gifted their Uncle Hugh Janice, by the way. What's the best wallet for the noobs? Let us know. A good question by Toasty Toast. Which wallets, hardware wallets do you guys recommend for noobs? Please do share. Welcome, everyone. We got over 600 people on X right now. We got 152 people on YouTube. It's a good sign. I think the other day we had like 50 people on YouTube. I was like, what's going on? But yeah, collectively, we got over 700 people on the stream. We're also streaming live on Rumble, and we're about to dive into our feature story of the day. I'm just going to sip on some more water here.
Buying up for 218. Going Bitcoin. But I don't sweat it because it's just pathetic to let it get me involved in that.
McFoofinator, you're so late. I'm sending you to timeout.
Sell on the dip crowd. Sell on the dip crowd. Dip sell, dope sell, no Bitcoin sell. I'm no sellout.
And that's how it works sometimes. A cycle is 4 years. You can be down for the 3 bear years, and then all of a sudden, bada boom, bada bing, Bitcoin is the king. And now you dollar cost average every day. You learn your lesson. Recommendations for the wallets. Oracle says Trezor or Coldcard. For the noobs, recommend the Trezor. Agreed. Coldcard's definitely more advanced. 100%. I am here with my brother. Shout out Tip Tyler and your broski. Shout out the Broham. Welcome to the stream. I like the Trezor, says Mark. Good recommendations. Definitely a good wallet. Gary Gensler needs a timeout. In fact, Gary, you're fired. Get the frick out of here, bro. Yeah. Noobs, I'd say the Coldcard. Oh, wow. For the noobs. Coldcard for the noobs. Right on. CoinKite is the company behind the Coldcard wallet, by the way. One of the cool things with the Coldcard, it has the air gap technology, so you can actually use it without ever connecting it to a computer. Yes, some wallets you can actually do that. But in my opinion, it's a little more advanced to use. I think a Trezor's more easier for a noob, in my opinion. FGG, amen. Barry, I meant to say Barry. I almost said bury that mofo. Yeah, bury that mofo. Metaphorically speaking, of course. Metaphorically. But you know what Trump said? Day one, Gary, you're fired. Anyways, okay. Now for our feature story of the day, yo. Bitcoin about to mimic the Japanese stock market's incredible late 1980s rally, according to this analyst, who projects Bitcoin soaring to $760,000 per biddy. In fact, he even shares his timeline. I'm going to break it down for you right here. Popular crypto analyst thinks Bitcoin is currently mirroring the Japanese stock market's giant rally about 4 decades ago. 40 years, yo. Synonymous analyst Tech Dev shares charts with his 500,000 followers on X that compare the Bitcoin performance since 2010 with the performance of the Nikkei 225, a price-weighted index that tracks 225 blue-chip companies trading on the Tokyo Stock Exchange between the years 1950 and 2000. Tech Dev's charts, which you can see here, suggest Bitcoin can crack 760,000 per biddy sometime between 2028 and 2029, yo, before witnessing a multi-year bear market. In fact, here are the charts pulled up here. You can see them ripping. This is according to the logarithmic growth curve. So this is the log model. And he also posted this chart here, which is also comparing Bitcoin again to this Japanese stock index. And if, again, we can potentially hit $760,000 if everything plays out accordingly. But nonetheless, the top-ranked crypto asset by market cap is currently correcting. The analyst also shares a chart that has a line for the Bitcoin price and a line that pits the Chinese. Oh, this is the Chinese 10-year bonds here that we're looking at in the second chart. CN 10-year against the M2SL, the seasonally adjusted measure of the money supply of the United States. So based on this chart, you can see on your screen, he appears to suggest an expansion in the CN 10-year against the M2SL would trigger big Bitcoin rallies, again, the Chinese 10-year. Now, last month, Tech Dev noted in a newsletter he was optimistic about the recent downturn of the crypto market, quoting him here from the newsletter. Obviously, there is extreme fear in the market. The last 2 weeks were filled with told you so comments from doomer bears on a retest of 48,000 levels they previously said would never be reached. The last time they were doom posting at 25 Gs. Exactly what I like to see. The fact that it came at a time when the global macro conditions are pointing up makes it nothing more than 2 weeks of loud noise to me. More like the last 6 months. It is usually the case in all the speculative markets, but the last 2 years have reflected this more than any other time of the crypto market. It doesn't move up until X is scared. Absolutely shitless. That was the case at 15,000 after the FTX crash, at 20,000 after the regional banks were failing, and at 38,000 after the brutal post-ETF wick. And now, deja vu. family. He also says, what y'all also recall is how much sentiment can whiplash in a couple of weeks, expecting it again. All the while, the global cycle continues to point higher. So there you have it, yo. What are your thoughts on this bullish $760,000 chart projection as we continue soaring post-halving 2024? And again, he gives us the targets by the time of the next halving, 2028, 2029. We can anticipate Bitcoin cracking some of those levels. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto analyst. And welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream. I see we got over 700 people here with us right now. This is your opportunity to share comments, ask questions, and you could interact on the chat in the YouTube direct link, cryptonewsalerts.net. The chat stream is coming from the tube. Also, you can chat now directly on X. I'm going to show you how to do it in case you don't know. So when you go to X, you're going to notice the stream pinned at the top of my profile. All you do is click on it. It looks like that. And then at the very bottom, it's hard to see, but it says live chat. So you can now chat on X. So you click the live chat. There's usually a bit of a delay for a few seconds, and then the chat will appear. I'm going to be interacting with you guys on X as well as on YouTube. So you can comment on X or comment on the YouTube. And either way, I got you. But like I said, there's a bit of a delay for the comments to appear on the X. So like Andrew Tate said, people are ignorant. They buy at the high when they need to be buying when it's at the low. Shout out Andrew and Tristan Tate, 100%. Most people buy at the high of the last cycle. They remain down until the new all-time high. You're right. People love to buy when it's at an all-time high. Ironically enough, it's human psychology. 225,000 end of the year, 500 to 750,000 cycle peak. 2025 predicts the Oracle. And if, like Max says, the dollar is going to belly up, they will see much higher. That's right. I covered in yesterday's pod, Max Kaiser prediction is that the dollar crashes within 6 months. He doesn't specify his definition of the dollar crashing, but we can all use our imaginations. And of course, if the dollar does crash, it's going to make Bitcoin that much more stronger. We could see hyperinflation with the US dollar purchasing power get smacked even worse than it currently is. Yeah, meaning you can buy less for every dollar you have. And then Bitcoin will have the opposite effect. Bitcoin's purchasing power mathematically guaranteed to increase your purchasing power, right? Hence, it's the greatest savings to ever exist. Hence why everyone here should be stacking the biddies. I'm okay with 760,000, no complaints here. Yeah, I dig it. Personally, I think we can go higher. I think 1 million by 2029 is my prediction. I've been sharing virtually every stream. However, that's ballpark. I'll take 760,000. I'll take it. You know what I mean? I think we'll be at least 1 million after 2 cycles in 2035, says Toasty Toast. But the U.S. government will seize Bitcoin from the ETFs, Coinbase, and Binance to convert to cash. As fiat crashes, holla to my cousin, Nick Gertz. Shout out, Nick. And I agree. And I'm glad you brought that up, Toasty Toast. Most people have so much trust in their U.S. government. Oh, they would never do that. They can't get away with it. No, they would know. I agree. I think Max is right. I think the U.S. government will absolutely confiscate the Bitcoin BTC. To me, it's not even a question. It's like common sense. When is the $1 million question? I don't know when. Maybe they're going to keep accumulating and try to get 5-10 million Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And then, Democratic Party, hypothetically, if they're in power, they send the letter to the freaking Coinbase CEO. This is just hypothetically how it can play out. Brian Armstrong, in the name of, what did they say? In the name of, I forget the terminology, but in the name of national security, something like that, we need to seize all the Bitcoin in the possession. And Coinbase already have the majority of the Bitcoin because they're the custodian for BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager. Most of the other asset managers, minus Fidelity, I think the only major asset manager doing the self-custody thing. But they can just steal everyone's Bitcoin just like that. In fact, what just happened to Binance, as an example of what can happen in real life, they just seized, allegedly, all the Palestinians' crypto from Binance. And the CEO didn't even question it, just handed over all the crypto to the state of Israel. Crazy. So to think it can't happen is naive. That's just my opinion. But anyways, the dollar is dead. Bitcoin is our only safe space in the safe space crybaby world. The DXY is the nosedive right now. The dollar is a crashing as we speak. Bitcoin does the inverse of the dollar. So Bitcoin is ultimately this: the apex predator. And the dollar is, wah, wah. Yeah, Bitcoin was created so you take your own property. Amen. In the name of love. Preach. But anyways, welcome everyone to the live stream. This is the Q&A segment of the show. Feel free to ask me anything you want. High Priority Network, thank you for the repost. Get the best daily crypto news from Crypto News Alerts. Just reposted your brother. And anyone else who reposts the stream on X, again, we're going to be streaming for the next hour. Please share it. Spread the word. Let people know we're live. Hide your kids, hide your wives. We're going to turn into the uncensored version here in a bit. So we're going to stick around on the 2 for a few more minutes. Then we'll switch it out uncensored style on X and Rumble. And we'll be streaming for the next hour. Spread the word. Appreciate it.
Bitcoin. Roger out, Roger out.
Do you know what night it is tonight? It's Orange Panty Night, broskies.
It's Red Panty Night when you're starting to find me, yeah? Back at home with your wife.
It's a celebration. I am on Nostr. I'm absolutely on there. Check username. I don't recall if I'm username Crypto News Alerts or Crypto News Yes, because on X I'm Crypto News Yes, because Crypto News Alerts wasn't available in 2018 when I created it. But one way or the other, I know I'm on Nostr, and you should be able to find it. Just type in Crypto News Alerts. If you don't see it, Varse, then just check Crypto News Yes. You should be able to find it. I need to start linking it in my social media. I always forget. But I did create a Nostr. Nostr is ultimately the decentralized version of X. What is a Bitcoin? By this is just a code of the network. It's just free speech. Exactly. What is it? It's a good question.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 says commandments.
Exactly. You read my mind, Glencoe. It's exactly what I need to do. Then people can actually find it. So I will do that. I'll put the Nostr, include it in the show notes on the Rumble and YouTube in the description. You'll notice all my social media links, and you can find us. And I'll probably create a subdomain. It'll be nostr.cryptonewsalerts.net, just like we have rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, x.cryptonews. Everything is a subdomain. That way it's easy to find everything. JB question. Oh, no. Do you think by the end of the cycle that everyone will have heard about Bitcoin? When you say everyone, does that mean everyone in the world, including like children? Or are we talking like adults? Or are we talking in the United States? A little vague, but I'll answer nonetheless. By the end of this cycle, I don't think everyone will know of it. I don't think so. I think a lot more people will know of it, obviously. I think maybe when Bitcoin, I mean, who knows? But there's always going to be a pocket of the population that is just not aware of what's going on with Bitcoin. Maybe they're going to be Amish. Maybe they're tribes. I don't know, but I'm just saying, will every single human being ever know about Bitcoin? I'm kind of sus that will happen unless Bitcoin's above $1 million. But I think the majority of the people will know of it. I think people with money and actually people who have some level of success, like investors, they'll all know of Bitcoin. It'll be probably impossible to be an investor and not be aware of Bitcoin as an asset class. But like ordinary people who are struggling maybe to even pay the bills, living paycheck to paycheck, living in poverty, I think the last thing on their mind is Bitcoin, even if they've heard of it, in my opinion. So that's my thinking. I personally think Bitcoin will be mainstream at the end of the cycle, at least for the for the financial people, 100%. So that's the clarity. I agree with the Oracle. I think everyone in the financial landscape must know of. I already think every billionaire knows about Bitcoin. I don't think you can be a billionaire and not have Bitcoin on your radar right now. And I think it's going to be more common that all the millionaires have Bitcoin on their radar. And then eventually everyone in finance and investing is going to be aware of Bitcoin 100%. If I was to speculate now, I'd say maybe 50% of adults know of Bitcoin in the United States. I don't know how accurate that is. I'm just speculating and throwing a number out there. But I think right now, maybe half the people are aware of it or have heard of it before. Still have a long ways to go, because you got to consider the total crypto market cap is only 2 trillion today. Bitcoin market cap is only 1 trillion. That's such a nascent market on the grand scheme of the total addressable market, which is like 900 trillion, right? When do you think world adoption will happen? Like every person has a wallet? Wow. That's a great question. That can happen next cycle. as soon as Apple and Google Android phones have wallets built in by default, I think it'll be everyone's using it. So it could happen a lot sooner than expected. Good questions. And if you guys have answers, I'm just speculating. So let me know your guys' answers as well. My buddies' kids are 7 to 12, and they know more about Bitcoin than any of the elders. Go figure. Like my child has known about Bitcoin since age 2, and I have on video her doing a Bitcoin dance. Like we ordered the physical Bitcoins from Amazon that represent Bitcoin, the little gold coins. And I have a video of her at 2 years old dancing Bitcoin money. And it's like the cutest thing ever. So she's been well aware of Bitcoin since a baby. But that's because her father's a Bitcoiner. You expect anything less? When do you think people will start teaching their kids about crypto? They should start immediately. In fact, they should start on Chandy's channel. We created some tracks dedicated to the kiddos, including Jamie Tapeworm, every kid's favorite song, Jamie Tapeworm Diamond. We have the Bitcoin Kids song, and looking forward to educating more of the kids. In El Salvador, they have educational programs for the kids. I think eventually schools around the world will be educating kids about Bitcoin as well. Not the government schools, which are public schools. I call them government schools because they're really controlled by the government. But private schools and schools without the evil agendas, like the transgender agendas, more than likely will teach about Bitcoin and such. If a school is teaching about transgenderism to kids right now, I have no faith in that school whatsoever. I'm just saying. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but that's actually going on right now. People have the money, know how to make the money. When the dollar goes south, they will move their money to the Biddy. My daughter learned about the Biddy in 2015. She knows she has a wallet and how to use it to get what she wants. Smart. I think every child should have a wallet. And obviously, I wouldn't recommend putting all the Bitcoin you have created for your child or that you plan on passing down to her, maybe via a trust after you ascend into a higher realm. But nonetheless, I think every child should have a wallet. They should understand how to use it, and they should have access to whether it's $20 or $1,000 or a couple $100. Teach them the importance of hodling and the skill of saving. Because thinking about it, would you really want to leave a child generational wealth when they don't have the knowledge of how to keep the wealth? Patrick Bet-David was talking about this on a podcast the other day, I think with Nelk. And it was very good. And he made great points. And he's like, in order for his children to get his wealth, they have to do X, Y, Z. If they just think they're getting the wealth without following whatever the requirements are, they're dreaming, because he's not going to hand over all that wealth knowing they're going to make a bad decision. So along with it comes responsibility, liability, and I also think they should learn to save. And if your child does a good job at not using all the sats, not to say that she can't make a purchase online to spend some of it to buy a toy or whatever, but overall she should be saving it and stacking it. Maybe you can pay the allowance in sats. Maybe instead of $20 cash, you can say, hey, I'm going to start giving you $20 a week in Bitcoin. This is a test. I want to know if you're capable of being responsible with Bitcoin. And if you are, when you're an adult, you're going to receive all of my Bitcoin. I'm going to leave it to you in my trust, but I'm going to require you to do X, Y, and Z. And if you refuse to do those things, you're not getting any of it. That's why I want to start teaching you now, right? I want to teach you to be a saver, not a spender, right? It's easy to spend. Every kid wants to spend. But what if we could instill the skills early on? That'd be the game changer, in my opinion. All of my children have the Biddy. Even RFK Jr., he said he purchased a bunch of Bitcoin to give it all to his grandkids. Got to respect that. I have chat options on X. Yes. No. He says no. Damn it. Well, most people do. I don't know why you don't. Should there be an age limit to make a Bitcoin account? No, there shouldn't. There is none. In fact, Nipsey can have a Bitcoin wallet because there's no identity verification. It's not like a centralized exchange where you got to give all your personal information. Anyone can create an account. So you can create your kids a Bitcoin wallet as soon as they're born. You can create it before they're born, and you can just give it to them. You have a lot of options. But anyways, save the questions for the uncensored version of the pod because we're about to flip it out. So YouTube, we out. You ain't got to go home, but you got to head out of here. I suggest heading over to the Rumble. We're going to continue with the uncensored extended version of the pod and the after party. Again, it's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. Again, rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. And let's get ready to rumble. And while we're